welcome to another episode of Let's Talk with Dr. Shanessa Fenner. I'm your host, Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and I'm very excited today because I have two people here with me who are near and dear to my heart. I am first and foremost an elementary principal, and today I've invited two of my wonderful teachers to be a part of my show. I have Mrs. April McPhaul and Mrs. Kim Olivera. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
And Kim, I would like to first start off by saying congratulations for being Pine Forest District's Teacher of the Year. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Now, April, I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a fourth grade teacher. The past 3 years I've taught fourth grade, and then I taught second grade for 10 years, third grade for 1 year. I'm also my church Sunday school director, and I'm also the director for our Vacation Bible School. So as you can see, I love children. They keep you young.
Okay. Where are you from, April?
I'm actually a military brat, so I guess I'm from everywhere, but I was born in Stuttgart, Germany.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Kim, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a kindergarten teacher at W.T. Brown, and I absolutely love my little babies. I am happily married to Lou, and we have 3 beautiful kids together. We have my daughter is about to graduate from high school, so we have a whole new adventure ahead of us. And I have a beautiful 9-year-old Hannah. She is just wonderful, and my son Aiden. We're very blessed. We're very, very fortunate.
Okay. Now, what college is your daughter planning on attending? Because I know she's going to college.
She's undecided right now, but she is leaning toward ECU. She's interested in medicine, and so she's really looking at ECU because of the Brody School of Medicine. So she's excited about that.
Wonderful. Well, I plan on hearing great things about her.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Kim, when did you first realize you wanted to become a teacher?
I realized I wanted to be a teacher when I was in kindergarten. I grew up, I was not an only child, but my brothers and sisters had all been married and moved out of the house when I came along. So I didn't have anybody to play with. And so I went to kindergarten and I just fell in love. I loved my teacher. She was wonderful, and she just set such a great example. And I was very fortunate because I had wonderful teachers from the very beginning and I just knew early on I would come home from school and play. I had a chalkboard that I got for Christmas one year, and I would teach my dolls how to read, and I would teach them how to write their alphabet.
Okay.
And as I got older, my father did not go past the 6th grade, and so I remember sitting with him, reading to him, and encouraging him to read with me. So I've wanted to teach since as early as I can remember.
Oh, okay. April, when did you first realize you wanted to become a teacher?
4th grade,
Oh.
because my teacher name was Mrs. Moats. She was wonderful. She was strict but fair. I love that about her. Also, when I hit 5th grade, my teacher, Mr. Gann, just made learning and teaching just a whole lot of fun. So I would say 4th grade is when that light came on, I want to be an educator, and 5th grade sealed it for me. But I love kids, I love teaching, and I love learning.
Okay. Now, August 29th is the first day of school for students. How do you prepare for students?
How do I prepare for students? Throughout the entire summer, I'm constantly thinking of ideas and things that I can implement throughout the school year. I keep a Google Doc, and throughout the summer, I'm adding to it things I would like to do for the school year. I'm constantly looking for ideas online, making mental notes, making physical notes. Things I did last year that worked well, I want to do again this year. Things I didn't get to last year that I want to do this year. And so for me, it's a constant, just throughout each day, mentally making notes, preparing for it. So I'm very excited about this year because of some things I didn't get to last year, but we're getting to this year.
Okay. That's what I want to hear. Kim, how do you prepare for a new school year?
I do a lot of the same things. I am forever on Pinterest. I'm a Pinterest junkie. I've gotten some great ideas from Pinterest, especially like how to set up the classroom and games to keep the kids engaged. I also go back through my lesson plans, and I try to do this each week during the school year. If something has been successful, I try to make a little note. Yes, this worked great. If something was not so great and I need to go back and revamp it, I'll just make a note of that as well. But and I try to stay up to date on, trends that are happening, and This past summer, I've taken a couple of classes to, to become a better teacher. I want to be the best teacher that I can be for the kids. So.
Okay. Now, ladies, we know that we're at a Title I school, high-needs school. Our kids need a lot of help with different things. And what are some of the challenges that you all face by, being a teacher at a Title I school?
I have seen this many times. This past year, we had a lot of kids that came to school, no fault of their own, but they had dirty uniforms, and so there was a need at our school for washers and dryers, and so I reached out to the community, and we're very blessed. We had several washers and dryers donated to our school, along with extra uniforms and laundry detergent for the kids. And unfortunately, a lot of our kids are fed at school, but when they go home, they have a different struggle. I had a little boy, he came up to me, he was so sweet, and I had ketchup sandwiches for supper last night. And I said, what? You had what? We had bread, and we took packets of ketchup, and we made sandwiches, and that's what we had. And I said, that's all you had? And so I dug a little bit deeper, and I try to work on establishing a good relationship with my parents. I don't judge, but if they come across a bad situation or they need a little extra help, I want them to feel that they can trust me and know that I want to help them. I'm not there to judge them, but I called the mom, and I found out that they just didn't have enough money to make it until the end of the month, and they didn't have any food. And she was very, very humble about it. And I said, well, do you mind if I come and see you a little bit later on tonight? And so we made sure that they had food for the rest of the month.
And Kim, it's something, because like this summer, principals work year-round, so this summer I was sitting at my desk and I'm thinking, are the babies eating? Because I just always worry about them eating. Are they reading? Are they still retaining the information that you all taught them during the school year? So it's always something that I think about, are my babies eating? April?
One of the challenges we had this past year, my 4th grade class, we had dressed up for a formal event. And prior to the event, I said, if anyone does not have dress clothes, let me know. And so I had one student that he didn't have any dress clothes. So I went shopping. I found him some black slacks. I called my mom, had to be on the lookout for a white dress shirt, and she found it. We couldn't find a red tie because we wanted black, white, and red. So I went to my husband's closet, found a red solid tie for the student. This student put the outfit on and face lit up. The tie was really long. He didn't care. He was just so happy because he could be a part of this formal event. So I think some of the challenges of having some students that are in poverty is like Ms. Olivera said, looking into the community for resources, tapping into community, tapping into your own family resources, and sometimes tapping into our own personal resources for our students, for our babies, so they can feel good about themselves. That day was priceless. I took a picture. I'm going to keep it forever.
We had something similar for the winter program. They're supposed to wear their Sunday best, and a lot of our kids did not have it, but they came in their uniforms. And so through private donations, most of the kindergarten, everyone in my class and the majority of kids in the other 3 kindergarten classes all had dress clothes. And one little girl wore the dress for the program, and then she came to school and she said, is it okay? The next day, is it okay if I wear this again? I said, yes, absolutely. You could just see that they felt great and they were confident, and just their whole demeanor changed. And so just little things, little acts of kindness, you never know the seeds that you're planting. So, and I think it's also important too, our kids that are living in poverty, we're not here to fix them. They're not broken, but we're just here to help them and to guide them and show them there's more to life.
Yes. And it's very challenging, Kim and April, because we know that some of our kids will come to school and they'll say, Dr. Fenner, our water got cut off last night. We don't have anything to eat. We were evicted last night. We had to sleep in the car last night. So those are some of the things that we have to do. And of course, we want to address those before we teach the children. So it's always something that we're working on. So like Absolutely. I say, to the community, if you would like to give to W.T. Brown or any kind of resources or help, please feel free to call the school.
We had a situation last year where a family was about to be evicted on one of the coldest nights of the winter, and our community really came together, and the school came together, and Thankfully, they had somewhere to stay. They had donations of food and clothing, and gift cards were given to them. So, you know, it takes everybody working together.
It takes a village, Kim.
It absolutely does.
Now, ladies, you know, I always talk a lot about relationships, building relationships with your students. When your students know that you care about them, they will do everything for you. They will get that level 5 on the end-of-grade test. They will exceed growth because their principal wants them to exceed growth. So give me some of the ways that you get to know your students.
I talk with them. There is not a doubt. They know I love them to death, and they know that I'll do anything in the world for them. We do little things in our classroom, like I tend to have little sprays, little colognes and stuff, and they come see me every morning. Okay, I want to smell good today, and so we do little things like that. And you know, we tuck our shirts in, we get all tidy. But we also, what I have found very beneficial, we sit around the carpet first thing in the morning, and we all say something nice about each other.
Okay.
I think that's very important. And then we talk about, what did you do over the weekend if it's Monday morning? Tell me something fun that you did, or tell me a little bit about yourself. And I always teach them, say kind words, use kind words. Everybody needs to hear something nice about themselves, and so we really do practice kindness in the classroom.
That's good, Kim. April?
Well, how to get to know my students is the first week of school, we do an all about me bag.
Okay.
And so I give them a brown little paper bag, and they can put up to 5 items in there that represents themselves. So it could be a miniature basketball, a little soccer ball, hair clip, anything that's important to them. I also have an all about me board that I put together myself. So when they come into the classroom, automatically they can see a little bit about their teacher's life and my summer, things that I like to do with my family and friends and community. But the All About Me bags have been a wonderful resource to use and to do with the students, because you get a chance to get insight of what they like. And from that, they don't realize I'm taking a mental note, and throughout the year, oh, they like basketball. So I can use it as an incentive. Oh, she really likes glitter and stickers. And so that helps me tap into their world. We also, every Monday morning, I will ask them, your weekend, if it was great, thumbs up. Horrible, thumbs down. If it was okay, put it in the middle. That's a quick assessment for me to see who's that student or two I need to spend a little extra time with that maybe didn't have a great weekend. And like Ms. Olivera said, afterwards, we say kind things to each other. Let's find something positive to say to each other, and that really helps kick off the week on a positive note.
Okay. Ladies, let's talk a little bit about parental involvement, because we know at our school the parental involvement is not as high as I would like to have it. What are some of the things you all think we should do this year to increase our parental involvement?
I know for me personally, I've always done a weekly newsletter. I know we do a lot of things online, but I at one point was thinking about getting rid of my weekly hard copy newsletter, until I had a grandparent that called me and thanked me because she said that she was homebound. She physically couldn't get to the school. But every week her grandchild bringing home that newsletter made her feel connected with the school and kept her in the know of the school. So I think maybe encouraging teachers to do some form of weekly newsletter, can do a hard copy and online through Google Classroom. Do different type of parental nights, just fun nights. A parent and child dance kickoff night, just things that can be fun, entertaining, but that will also encourage the parents to come out to the school. Because I think once they're comfortable in our building in a fun way, then they'll be more apt to come to our more academic programs and get more involved in that manner.
Okay. Kim?
I agree. I mean, I think that sometimes we can welcome the parents in just by being aware of how we present ourselves. A smile can just open doors, you know, and just treating people the way we want to be treated. But as far as the parental involvement, there are several apps that I plan on using in the classroom this year to send out messages to my parents. And I understand a lot of them do have challenges, and so they can't come into the school. I try to make more phone calls with good news to tell them positive messages about what the kids are doing. I really try to keep the bad behavior phone calls to a minimum, because it's always nice to hear good things and encouraging things about your own child. And I also send home, every parent that comes in my classroom, they have my personal cell number. I will send them all messages specifically about their students. So they know how to reach me. I have an open door policy. If they need anything, if they have questions about anything. I haven't finished it yet, but I actually want to try to put some of our ELA lessons on the internet. So if parents have questions about what we're going over, I would like to be able to give them a link so they can go pull up the story for the week, or what we were going over that day, or sight word flashcards, little things like that. I mean, everybody knows the kids especially know how to use smartphones. So I would really like to use the technology that they have easy access to keep the parents better informed.
Okay. Now, April, I want to ask you something. And this is a question we hadn't talked about.
Okay.
But how do you think your students describe you? What do you think they say about you?
I think they're saying that Miss McPhaul likes to have fun and likes learning, but at the same time, you have to respect her, yourself, and classmates. They know by the first week, they understand that if they're misbehaving, I'm not going to yell. I'm going to wait. And it actually surprises them, because sometimes they're so used to someone fussing at them that when they have somebody doing the opposite, it kind of takes them by surprise. So I think they would say she's a fun teacher, but yet at the same time, you're going to have to respect yourself, her, and a classmate, because they know that I work hard myself and I have high expectations, not only for myself, but for them as well. And I know that each of them can reach it, can exceed the expectations. So in my mind, they're saying positive things about me.
Okay. Kim?
I think that the students that I have would describe me as fun, approachable, silly, because we do have fun in the classroom. But I think without a doubt they all know that I love them, and that they can trust me, and they can tell me anything, and they know that I'll do whatever we can to help them. And it's really nice when you have students come back when they've gone up to higher grades and come in and check on you every morning and say, "Hey, Miss Olivera, I love you," and it's just really nice to see that. So I think they would have. I think they would be left with a good impression of me.
Okay. I think that the students say about me, Dr. Fenner has very high expectations. She tells us every morning on the intercom that she expects us to attend college and to at least obtain a bachelor's degree. You all know I say that every morning.
Yes.
We have our college wall that's up. They know that I plan to read great things about them. They know that I expect nothing but the best. So I think when they think of me, they think of college, because that's all I talk about is them going to college. So that's what I think. Okay. What do you like to do when you're not teaching, April?
I love to spend time with my 2-year-old son. He's so much fun. He is talking up a storm. We've been watching the Olympics, and so the past couple of mornings he'll point to the TV and say, "Gymnastics? Watch gymnastics." And so we went to Charleston last week. He loved downtown, seeing the horses, the historical buildings. We've been to museums and just had a great time this summer, really getting a chance to spend that extra quality time with him, as well as with my big baby, my husband, of almost 13 years. And so I enjoy time with my family. My church family is very important to me.
What church is that, April?
I go to Spring Lake United Pentecostal Church.
Okay.
And I've been going there since I was about 15 years old.
Okay.
And like I said earlier, I'm over the Sunday school department. We have a wonderful department. We just had a fantastic vacation Bible school. Even 110-degree heat index, we still had a great time.
Yes.
And so I really enjoy spending time with my little baby, my big baby. My immediate family is here. And so we get together about every other week to go out to eat or shopping and just hang out. And of course, my church family.
Okay. Kim, what do you do in your free time?
I'm very similar. I absolutely love spending time with my family. We're very blessed, and we love being with each other. We try to do things with the kids. We're really trying to make good memories for our kids. We go to for our summer vacation. We let the kids be involved in it, and we try to push the boundaries and step out of our comfort zone, and just we try to do fun things. One of the things that we do, and we may actually try to do it in the classroom, we try to have different family game nights where we live on the adventure side a little bit, and we will play Guess That Soda, where we went to Rocket Fizz. Um, dirt flavored soda, as an example, just Martian soda. And so,
What did that taste like?
oh, we had like 5 different bottles, and no one knew. We had to guess the flavor, and we've done that with food. We've done that with, we've played Bean Boozled as a family. So keeping our family together is really very important, and I really enjoy just being with my family.
Okay, that's good. Now, who was your favorite teacher when you were coming up?
Miss Moats in 4th grade, Mr. Gann in 5th grade, but honestly, I loved all my teachers.
Well, that's good.
I just loved going to school.
Why were they your favorite?
Because I think they saw the potential in me, because growing up, I was very shy, very quiet. Not anymore, but growing up, I was very shy. And I think they saw that potential in me. A majority of my teachers would tap into that and really pulled out greatness in me. And so I was blessed that the majority of my teachers were very good teachers in my eyesight. And so I would go to summer school. I didn't even have to go. I was blessed to have good grades. And so my mom would tell us, if you have good grades, you don't have to go to summer school. I still had to sign me up because I wanted to be in school. And my brothers would tease me, why are you going to school over the summer? But it's always loved school and learning and just been around my teachers. And so I've been blessed to have a great school experience.
Okay, now speaking of education, which I talked with you all about as well, do you plan on pursuing that next degree since you love school so much?
I do, Dr. Fenner. So I already have my master's in special education. I obtained that in 2012. And my next plan is to become a counselor. I want to become a Christian family counselor. So I plan to obtain either a second master's in counseling, or if I can pursue a PhD in counseling, but that is my next goal, is to become a Christian family counselor.
Okay, now anticipated graduation date or anticipated date that you will begin that?
I've already started, I looked online at Liberty.
Okay.
So I've already been kind of looking at different colleges. I looked at UNC Greensboro. So I don't have a ending date yet,
Okay.
but my plan is to start within the next 12 months.
Okay, all right, because you know I pull you all in my office one by one and ask you when are you going back to school, so I'll be pulling you in shortly
Yes,
to
ma'am.
make sure you started
Yes,
already.
ma'am.
Okay. Kim?
I am actually in school now. I took 2 classes over the summer to work toward my master's degree. I'm actually working on 2 master's degrees right now.
Wonderful, fabulous.
So one in elementary education, and I'm working on my master's in school administration through Appalachian State right now.
Okay, great. Kim, who was your favorite teacher and why?
That's a great question. I have really thought about that, and right away my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. McPhaul, pops into my head. I mean, she is the one that started my desire to teach, and she just made learning fun. I mean, she treated each and every one of us fairly, and just, you know, she just made learning exciting, and school was a great place to be. And then I also had a couple of teachers in high school who really made a strong, lasting impact on me. Miss Rosser, and she was my high school English teacher. She helped me with college exams, well, not college exams, but college applications, and she just kept me on the right path. She was always there. She would give good motherly advice, and she just made a very, very good impact on my life. So
That's good. My favorite teacher was my first grade teacher, Miss Pittman. And she is phenomenal. She would always tell me I was smart. She taught me different things, and she would say, you know, I believe in you. You can do this. So I always remember that, even now as a grown woman. I can hear Miss Pittman say, you know, Shanessa, you can do that. You got this. You know,
Yeah.
so things like that and words like that mean so much when you sometimes feel insecure or overwhelmed, or you're second guessing or questioning, you know, the choices that you've made in life. You hear people like that in your ears say positive things. Now, exposure. You all know that I am all about exposing our babies. I want them to be exposed to things that they probably would never get exposed to. So what are some of the field trips that you all think we should take this year to expose our babies? Now, of course, my girls group, they'll attend or visit 3 colleges, and then the boys group will as well. So what are some of the things you think we should get the lower grades to get into this year so they can be exposed to some stuff, Kim and April as well?
I think we should go to some of the sites locally here in Fayetteville, like the Airborne Museum. That's a great place to go, and just give the kids a good experience of, you know, the military is a strong part of our community, and many of our students, our families are in the military. So I think that's a great place to take probably more of the older students. As far as the younger students, I love Clark Park. I think that is a great place. I think it's a very well kept secret in Cumberland County, but they offer hands-on classes, and it's a great way to get the kids outside.
Okay, now are some of those classes free, Kim?
Oh yeah, they're
okay.
yeah, they're through the Parks and Rec.
Okay, good.
And that was one of the places we went as part of our little family staycation over spring break. So it's a great place.
Okay.
And also too, I just took my son this past week to the Transportation Museum that's downtown Fayetteville. So I have lived here for a long time. I have seen it and even been on the first level, but I've never had a chance really to explore.
Okay.
But
What did you learn?
I learned a lot because they have a new exhibit of Civil War and how it related in Fayetteville and different things that related in Fayetteville through the Civil War. And so they was talking about different forms of transportation with the railroad, police, just different things in our community that we are not even aware that started in Fayetteville or that was impacted in Fayetteville or that came across through Fayetteville. So I learned a lot about different people that was involved in Fayetteville on different levels. Also, too, the local history museum is also another, I think, hidden secret that teaches kids about their history of Fayetteville and just being aware of our city, Civil War, and different things of that sort had a lot of people that was impacted that they're not aware of. So being a fourth grade teacher and fourth grade history, North Carolina history being a huge part, I want to expose my students this year to the local museums first. Then I like to take them to Raleigh for them to see the State Museum of History. But I think it's important for them first to understand Fayetteville history.
Exactly.
Then from
In Spring Lake history.
In Spring Lake, yes, ma'am, Spring Lake and Fayetteville history, and then build upon that. Also last year we took our students to African American heroes from Fayetteville. So the headquarters library had a wonderful program and it taught the fourth graders about African Americans that impacted Fayetteville through education, through medicine, through just different businesses. So the students were just blown away because there's heroes past and present right here in Fayetteville.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Now, ladies, I want you to think for a moment. What are you going to do differently this year? I know as a principal, I think, okay, Shanessa, what are you going to do differently this year that you didn't do last year? Because we're constantly evolving and growing. You know, we got the Common Core standards, different ways of teaching. What are you all going to do differently this year that you didn't do last year in the classroom?
I know last year we did small groups, but I want to do more small groups. So a lot of times distractions would come and then things will kind of falter to the side. But this year, my main goal is to make sure that every day we have uninterrupted small group ELA time, because I feel like small group is where you can really hit it as far as the kids understanding it. It's only 4 to 6 students, so they feel comfortable. They're willing to ask questions that they know where to ask in a large group setting. So for me personally, it's to make sure that every day they get that small group instruction time for ELA, and then to start to implement it more during math time.
I was going to ask you about that. What about math as well?
Because we did that a few times in math. We did it more so with ELA last year. But this year I wanted to be a goal for ELA and for math to have that uninterrupted small group time, because I really feel like that's where students, you can see that need and tap into that need and help them grow, help them master those skills.
Okay, and small group is very, very effective, April. Yes, it is. I know when I was principal of Algebra B. Wilkins, you know, we small grouped it all the time, and our scores just went through the roof, so it's very, very effective. Kim?
I'm actually going to piggyback on what you both have said. That is something that I really want to incorporate much more into, obviously ELA, but math and even science and social studies as well. I have seen the difference that it can make, and it's really nice to see when you get your students where they know what they're doing and they're comfortable and they can change from this small group, especially with center time and things like that. But I have seen them open up and it's very effective.
Okay. Now, ladies, let's switch a little bit and talk about technology. Okay, technology is something that's very, very important. Right now, kids are sitting there doing this and all. What kinds of technology and what kinds of things do you do in the classroom in order to keep their attention when it comes to technology? And how do you incorporate technology into your lessons?
Well, I'm so excited because this past summer I took that technology camp that they offered for the educators for CCS, wonderful camp. And so we got a chance to see how 3D printers work. They showed us different type of robotic things that we can do in the classroom, various apps that we can use. And so I'm just excited about technology because I've always known of technology and used some in the classroom, but it just helped me add more tools to my tool belt of things that I can do this year, resources I can use. I kept hearing people talk about Google Classroom, but I didn't know really how to set it up. I've learned now how to set it up. And so I'm just excited about really extending technology because, like you said, these students are already comfortable with it. They're going to want to use it. And so we already had like 5 or 6 iPads in the classroom last year, and the kids were fussing over it. So I'm looking at writing a grant to get more iPads in the classroom so that each student can have a chance to use the technology.
Okay, Kim?
I found Class Dojo really successful last year. I teach kindergarten, and so getting them able to sign onto the computer is an achievement, and it takes time. We're building and growing from there, but they really loved Class Dojo, and that's also an effective way to communicate with parents as well. You can send them, they can see how their kids are doing, they can see what areas they've done well in and where they need to improve in. So there's a lot of apps. Class Dojo I've really loved, but there's also presentations that you can do. You can teach your lesson. I think this is a way that you can work smarter and more effectively, where you can videotape your lessons. The kids can watch that, but you can also pull kids while you're teaching, and then you can also continue teaching more one-on-one. So I want to get more involved in that.
Okay, ladies, quickly I want you to give one piece of advice to the parents who are listening about this school year. One thing that parents need to know.
Parents, we need you. You are your child's first teacher. You are important to them, you are important to us, and we look forward to meeting each of you this school year. We need you.
Okay, Kim?
Please get involved. That's the biggest advice I can give them. Just, come in, come see what we're doing, volunteer, look at your kids' homework every night, go through their book bags. We welcome it.
Okay. Well, ladies, I thank you for being on Let's Talk with Dr. Shanessa Fenner. We're going to have an awesome year this year. We're going to exceed growth and do great things at W.T. Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
I thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Thank
audience, I thank you for viewing Let's Talk with Dr. Shanessa Fenner. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
So very much hypnotized, familiar stranger, wait, hold up, don't run, I don't bite. Familiar stranger, got me so very much hypnotized, familiar stranger, wait.